You've probably heard regulatory terms like clinical study report, common technical documents, product information, risk management plan, and periodic safety update report. But you may not know the role of each one plays in the medicine's approval and life cycle. If that sounds familiar, this episode is for you. Each of these documents serve a specific purpose at different stages of a medicine journey. Understanding when and why they're used is valuable. So I'll walk you through how a medicine makes its way from development to approval and see where each of these key regulatory documents fits into the process. Imagine your company has completed a pivotal phase 3 study for a new oncology medicine. The first regulatory document is a clinical study report or CSR. The CSR is providing a comprehensive record for everything that happened during the clinical trial. It includes the study protocol, the patient disposition, statistical analysis, efficacy results, and safety outcomes. And this CSR forms the primary clinical evidence supporting the marketing application and is one of the key documents that is reviewed by the clinical assessor. However, clinical data alone is not enough for a medicine to be approved. So the regulators also assess the pharmaceutical quality section, including the manufacturing and testing information, and also a non-clinical section within the dossier. And that's why all of the supporting information is brought together into a structure called Common Technical Dossier or CTD, which forms the basis of the marketing application submitted to the regulator. So the CTD isn't another report, it's a complete submission package presented in a globally harmonized format, Module 1 to Module 5. Module 1 is region-specific and predefined by individual regulatory authorities such as the TGA or EMA. Quality information is presented in Module 3, non-clinical data in Module 4, and clinical information in Module 5, supported by high-level summaries in Module 2. Once the submission is received, regulatory assessors independently evaluate each discipline. Clinical reviewer focuses on efficacy and safety. Quality reviewer assess the chemistry, manufacturing, and control. Non-clinical reviewer evaluate pharmacology and toxicology. Together, these assessment reports support one regulatory decision, whether the overall benefit-risk profile justifies approval. Following this approval, the regulator publishes a product information, and in my previous video, I discussed the product information in detail, so I won't revisit the structure. The important point is that it becomes the regulatory approved reference for a health professional and forms the basis of a safe and effective prescribing. And as we know, the regulatory work doesn't finish with the medical approval. In practice, post-approval activities become equally important. As the exposure increases, additional safety information becomes available through spontaneous adverse event report, observational studies, literature, and ongoing clinical trials. This information is periodically evaluated in Periodic Safety Update Report, aka Periodic Benefit Safety Evaluation Report, or PBRER. Unlike the original marketing application, which asks whether a medicine should be approved, the PBRER ask a different question based on available global safety information. Does the medicine continue to have a favorable benefit-risk balance? Running alongside the PBRER is a risk management plan or RMP. While the PBRER evaluates accumulated safety information, the RMP describes how important identified risk, potential risk, and missing information will be monitored and managed throughout the product lifecycle. As the new evidence emerges, regulatory actions may follow. These include update to the PI, a new safety warning, revised monitoring recommendations, expanded indications, or other approval variations. I'd like to leave you with these 3 key takeaways. First, every regulatory document has a specific job to do. The clinical study report captures the clinical evidence, the product information guides healthcare professionals, and the documents like risk management plan and periodic safety report help monitor medicines after they have approved. Each document plays a different role at a different stage of product lifecycle. Second, while these documents all have different purpose, they're all working towards the same goal. The goal is to make sure patients have access to safe, effective, and of high quality medicines at the time of approval and throughout the medicine's life cycle. And finally, once you understand where each document fits and why it's needed, the whole regulatory process starts to make much more sense. In the next video, we'll look at one of these post-marketing documents in more detail, the Periodic Benefit Risk Update Report, and discuss how regulators use